A familiar question dominates the AI conversation. Is this a bubble or a genuine opportunity? But that framing doesn't move us forward. The real distinction is not between bubble and opportunity. It's between capital mispricing and structural transformation. Yes, capital is flowing aggressively into AI. Valuations are stretched. Hype cycles are visible. That's typical of every general-purpose technology, from railroads to the internet. But the deeper shift is operational. First, let's clarify what capital mispricing actually means. Capital mispricing happens when money moves faster than reality. It's the gap between what investors pay for and what an asset can actually deliver in productivity, revenue, or long-term value. This usually begins with a powerful narrative. A technology promises transformation. Capital rushes in. Valuations rise before operating results can catch up. The problem isn't that the technology doesn't work. It's that markets price future potential immediately, while real value takes years to materialize. In practice, this looks like companies rewarded for exposure rather than performance. Funding flows to scale before fundamentals are proven. Expectations compress timelines that organizations cannot yet meet. When reality moves slower than capital, price is correct. But this is the key point. Capital mispricing is a financial event, not a structural failure. Markets overshoot. They always do. Yet beneath the volatility, workflows, cost structures, and operating models quietly change. History shows the pattern clearly. Railways, electricity, the internet. The capital was mispriced. The transformation was real. That distinction matters. AI is not entering one industry at a time. It is diffusing horizontally across law, finance, logistics, design, engineering, public administration. It is altering knowledge work itself, and that matters. Because when a technology moves horizontally, it stops being a sector story and becomes a system story. There is a critical distinction. The bubble risk is not in the technology. It's in the capital-chasing narratives. Artificial intelligence does not solve problems in their current form. Technology rarely does. Instead, it reshapes constraints. It reframes workflows. It changes the cost structure of thinking. And that is where the durable value sits. There is also a reality check. In controlled environments, AI tools can show productivity gains of 40 to 50%. But in real-world developer environments, the numbers are closer to 4 to 6%. At first glance, that sounds underwhelming. It isn't. When labor represents the majority of economic output, even a 5% productivity shift is macro-significant. At scale, that uplift compounds across GDP, margins, and reinvestment cycles. Small deltas, large systems. Another important insight. The strongest returns today are not in glamorous use cases. They are in maintenance workflows, customer support triage, back-office automation, internal software development. One team is now handling 20 to 30% of maintenance calls using AI. Development cycles have compressed dramatically, in some cases by an order of magnitude. When build time collapses, new categories of automation become economically viable. Projects that were previously ROI negative suddenly cross the threshold. That's when transformation accelerates. So where does that leave us? Artificial intelligence may very well be surrounded by a financial bubble. But underneath that volatility, there is something more durable. A shift in how knowledge is produced, validated, and deployed. The question is no longer whether AI replaces workers. It's how organizations redesign operating models around augmented cognition. History suggests this. The hype will fluctuate. Capital will correct. But the structural changes to workflows tend to persist. And those who adapt early shape the next operating baseline. The opportunity, then, is not speculative. It is architectural. It lives in systems, not headlines.